Hey, muy buenas, ¿qué tal chicos? ¿Cómo estáis? Bienvenidos a otro vídeo más. Bueno, el domingo, día 2 de abril, se cumplió 40 años del inicio de la Guerra de las Malvinas, este conflicto legendario. Y hoy vamos a ver, yo creo que ya lo último que nos falta por ver de este conflicto. Yo creo que este va a ser el último vídeo reacción que haga sobre este conflicto. Y bueno, qué mejor fecha que este mes de abril para conmemorar, ¿no?, esos 40 años del inicio del conflicto. Y bueno, vamos a ver qué opinaban los ingleses sobre las Fuerzas Armadas Argentinas, sobre su desempeño durante el conflicto. Un vídeo que me habéis pedido bastante que reaccione. Y bueno, dicho esto, vamos allá con el vídeo.
What were your opponents?
We've mentioned the Air Force, who were extremely courageous and very good. The regular members of the Argentine Army and Marine Corps were also, I think, very good. Their artillery was skillfully handled. Their men manning the machine guns, like the one you mentioned.
Bueno, ahí tenemos el cabo Oscar Poltronieri, ¿no? Con su ametralladora consiguió detener el avance de un batallón entero.
Were extremely skillful and very determined and stayed there and jolly well had to be winkled out.
Bueno, yo creo que la Fuerza Aérea va a ser la más alabada, ya que hundió una cantidad considerable de barcos ingleses con unos medios mucho más anticuados, ¿no? También la falta de misiles de largo alcance, simplemente tenían los misiles Exocet, así que yo creo que los ingleses sobre todo alabarán la Fuerza Aérea Argentina.
It's been said that the Argentinians did not fight. This was not true.
Bueno, nadie ha dicho eso, no sé quién ha dicho eso de que no habían peleado, no sé si fueron los ingleses.
The Argentines on all objectives actually fought. Particularly officers, junior officers and their regular NCOs who would man machine guns to the last and would be killed manning a machine gun.
Fighting at night over a period of 48 hours, the British took stronghold after stronghold. Each mountain posed its challenges, and each produced ever more wounded men.
And of course, the battle was not over once you'd taken the objective, because what then happened on all objectives, you were then shelled by the next load of Argentines who were holding positions further back.
On the 11th of June 1982, British troops in the Falklands were preparing surprise night attacks on a series of heavily defended mountains around Port Stanley. The Argentinians now realized that they were under attack. Rifle and machine gun fire, mortars and grenades rained down on the British troops.
It was a gutter fight in the dark, close quarter fighting. Argentines were fighting from behind rocks, a case of throwing grenades over rocks, going around, one man going, other men covering them. Range of visibility really quite short.
Eventually, our section got pinned down by 2.5 machine guns.
Se ve muy joven este hombre.
Close to the summit, and some riflemen. And for a while, we were actually, they had actually gained the momentum and gained the initiative from us.
It was pretty close, because guys were going down all around you. At one stage, we were going, me and another colleague were going up, and next thing he just dropped. And he'd been shot right in the eye there with a 50 caliber machine gun. No chance, he was totally...
Pues no, cuando te pega una bala del calibre 12-70 no tienes posibilidades, y menos si te da en la cabeza. O sea, debería haber explotado la cabeza como un melón.
Totally dead.
Three para should have swept over Longdon, but there was a nest of conscripts around a 50 caliber machine gun halfway along it who said, "No, you're not taking this hill just yet." And that's all it took. I mean, you can be as hard as nails and as well equipped as you like, but if you come against people who are prepared to stand their ground, you're going to lose men.
It was at this stage that Court McLaughlin was given a command to actually, right, go and get our wounded, get our boys back, get up and go and get them. I moved out, and I found, or ended up at, next to a young guy called Neil Gross. Neil was obviously in some discomfort. We got him onto a poncho and we carried him as best we could. There were lots of people trying to carry Neil, lots of people. Because he was in an awful lot of discomfort. So much it was just really sad. It was actually his 18th birthday.
Es curioso ver el otro lado de la historia, ¿no? También. Al final es prácticamente lo mismo. Chicos jóvenes los mandaron ahí a luchar y claro, quien va a la guerra da y recibe. O sea, lo mismo que vimos en el bando argentino, pues también pasó en el bando británico.
Neil Gross died soon afterwards. 2 17-year-olds were also killed during the battle for Longdon, and 19 other paras lost their lives.
Fijaros ahí los A4 argentinos que cerca del suelo vuelan ahí con sus vuelos rasantes.
If you're a fast jet pilot, you've got to be good or you're dead. I mean, it doesn't matter which country you come from because they've got to have bloody good reactions, they've got to be good. And the Argentinians, if you imagine, what are they, sort of racing drivers, polo players? I mean, what better sort of chap to have sitting in a fighter?
They knew what they were doing. They knew how to attack the ship. So they all lined up one after the other and came up the stern. At that time, the captain ordered full speed. We tried to manoeuvre to get our 20 millimetres to bear, but it seemed whichever way the captain turned the ship, there was an aircraft lined up on the stern, ready to come in.
They came in again. Bombs thunder into the water yards from our ships.
HMS Plymouth, assigned to protect, only just dodged 2 bombs herself.
Hay que reconocerle a los británicos, ¿no? El respeto con el que le hablan a sus contrincantes, ¿no? Y sobre todo, bueno, lo que dije yo antes, ya me imaginaba que la Fuerza Aérea iba a ser muy alabada porque fue una locura, ¿no? Y esto hasta los propios británicos lo tienen que reconocer y lo admiten.
They targeted the ships, the lifeline for the task force.
How the British task force commanders have underestimated the determination of the Argentine pilots.
Ship after ship in San Carlos water was hit by Argentinian aircraft. The British christened the bay Bomb Alley.
This was the first time I'd seen ships sunk by enemy action in my life.
I was watching Antelope, and suddenly a huge explosion in front of my eyes. Large parts of her superstructure flew up into the air.
I remember that explosion echoing round, and then followed by a series of other explosions that went all night.
Los argentinos le dieron caña dura a los británicos, ¿eh? Realmente también donde se puede ver el alcance de los ataques argentinos es también conociendo la opinión de los que lucharon del otro bando, ¿no? Para ver cómo lo veían ellos. Y aquí es cuando uno se da cuenta de verdad que los argentinos le dieron mucha brasa a los británicos, ¿eh?
It was a shock to see one's own ship explode, burn and sink before one's eyes.
After that first day, the defences were reassessed. Machine guns were strapped along the ship's sides. Even jets, when they dived below the missiles, put themselves within range. The Bofors guns aboard HMS Fearless claimed 2 planes. The gun crews, mostly 17 years old, soon...
También hay que decir que al igual que eran unos niños los argentinos, también eran unos niños los británicos, ¿eh? Mucho menor.
had more battle experience than anyone else in the Navy.
Sophisticated electronic watchdogs to protect us all. It's odd then that we get the greatest comfort from the old Second World War Bofors guns by the bridge. The crew on Bofors port gun have already claimed 2 hits and another probable, and we want to believe them. Up on the decks now, almost as an afterthought, general-purpose machine guns have been mounted by Royal Marines commandos as additional air defense. Odd, we thought, with so many millions of pounds worth of missiles around us, that such a makeshift weaponry should be necessary. But fired together and in the same direction, and a pilot would have to fly through a wall of lead.
Bueno, chicos, yo creo que ese fragmento está bastante bien para hacernos un poco la idea de lo que opinaban los ingleses sobre todo los pilotos argentinos, ¿no? Ya veis, bastante respeto. Si algo le tengo que reconocer a los ingleses es que en tema de la guerra, sobre todo de los combatientes, siempre ha habido muchos códigos de honor, tiene muchos códigos de honor, digamos que se toman la guerra con bastante honor y bueno, aquí se puede ver un poquito, ¿no? Sobre todo hablan con ese respeto, ¿no? Que realmente los consideraban como unos adversarios dignos a los argentinos y aquí se ve, ¿no? Y sobre todo este vídeo está muy bien para ver la otra parte de la historia también, es importante. Y para ver que también los ingleses sufrieron bastante las consecuencias, ¿no? de esa guerra. Y bueno, también para enterarse un poco del alcance real, ¿no? que tiene el conflicto, porque si siempre ves el mismo bando, pues al final siempre te falta una parte por saber y bueno, ya han pasado 40 años de este conflicto. Como vemos, la información es bastante grande de una y otra y otro bando. Pero bueno, muy interesante el vídeo, la verdad. Como ya digo, 40 años se cumplieron este domingo, día 2 de abril. Bueno, fue el 2 de abril, pero no sé si cuadró en domingo. A ver, hoy estamos, cuando estoy grabando este vídeo, estamos a 7 de abril. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3... O el sábado, fue el sábado. Nada, chicos, espero que os haya gustado. Como ya digo, yo creo que aquí vamos a cerrar el tema de las Malvinas para siempre. En principio, ya está prácticamente todo visto, así que espero que os haya gustado. Si es así, no olvidéis dejar vuestro like, suscribiros y, como digo siempre, un saludo a todos, máquinas, y nos vemos en la próxima. Adiós.